Hello, everyone. I'm Riva. And just in case you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe if you'd like to do that. And just a reminder, because this is the second time I'm doing this whole energy reading thing, in case you're someone who didn't watch the first one, I just wanted to kind of throw out there, this is something new that I'm doing. Well, I've been doing it for a very long time, but it's something new that I'm sharing with everybody to make sure that I'm being more fully the authentic self that I am with everyone instead of kind of keeping my life compartmentalized and I do this over here and I do this over there. And hopefully it'll also encourage more of you who might be going through your own experience where you're trying to be more comfortable with who you are and sharing who you are with everyone in your life. It's not easy. It's not easy. It can be stressful and it can be a little overwhelming at times when you're afraid of how something might be perceived or how people might experience you and if it changes, how they feel about you when they start to learn all these other parts of you. And I'm definitely beyond a lot of that now, but I know it's not easy for everyone in the beginning. So, I support you and love you if you're going through that process yourself. And I hope that this is just another example of how it is safe to share who you fully are with everyone in your life because you're amazing. And, if you truly are passionate about things and you have stuff you're interested in, the right people will resonate with you and they'll stick around. Anyone who isn't really like seeing you for who you are and accepting you will fall away, and that's okay. And I've been very fortunate and grateful that most of the people in my life these days have just been super open-hearted and loving and accepting of all of me. And whether or not anyone does, I still love me and I don't really care. I mean, I'm grateful for those who are open-hearted and accepting, but I also have learned over time in life that it's so much more important to value what you think of yourself and how you perceive yourself above everything else. Because the relationship you have with yourself is so important and so valuable, and it really dictates how you experience life. And when you show up with confidence, when you show up being who you are with everyone, and you accept yourself, it really changes how you are perceived and how you interact. Everything from the tone of your voice, the way you share about yourself and your experiences. You stop quieting yourself or keeping parts of yourself to yourself. You really are able to just shine, and you let go of all these little rules you have with yourself for what you can say, what you can't say, and it's it's really nice, and starts to get more comfortable, and it starts to be the only way that you want to be. So now that you've had like a life lesson on being yourself and how it's safe to be yourself, now you can take your time to go at the pace that feels good for you. I'm never pushing anyone for, having to be a certain way super fast. Be who you want to be. If you want to hide parts of yourself for a little longer, that's perfectly fine. But when you're ready to, it's safe and you'll feel really good eventually. I'm honest. I'll be honest with you because it's stressful at first and then it gets easy. Okay. So we're doing today's energy reading is specifically on this coming week, which includes, so we're doing this reading for the full moon in Taurus, and that's, I think, on the 8th of November. And okay, I'm just going to put this out there to start. I really don't know astrology, so do not rely solely on anything I say when it comes to astrology. I have fun sharing things, so I will say stuff, but I am fully disclosing I am not an astrologer by any means, and I'm not trying to pretend to be. But I have fun with cards, so we're gonna play with this and feel into what the energies of this full moon eclipse in Taurus. It's a blood moon, so it's red, and I like red. See, I just got my nails done and they're red. Yeah, they're pretty. Okay, so now that I've completely gotten distracted, let's actually get to the message of the reading. Oh, right. So I'm going to give you my interpretation of what I 4C for what we call the full moon eclipse in Taurus, but you can decide how you feel about it. Here's what I see. So eclipses in general are very unstable energetic times. They're very chaotic. They are kind of like major releases. Full moons in and of themselves are like major releases, but like the eclipses are like really good at clearing out a bunch of shit that you didn't want to hold on to. And that plus a full moon means it's going to be extra like clearing and extra kind of chaotic. And so it's going to be like a flash storm of like, oh wow, what the hell just happened? And then because it's in Taurus, my interpretation of Taurus, the bull, it's this. So Taurus is, I believe, a fixed sign. I could be wrong. The Taurasian people, as I call them, they're very set in their ways. Like they are a certain way, and that's who they are. They have like preferences for like, I want to be a certain, like I need my routine. I need to like have a schedule and things that are like, this is how this works. And if you do something different, their mind kind of breaks and they're like, no. So like, it's very like, very grounded, very earth. I think there's an earth sign, might be, I don't know, can Google that one to double check it, but like it's very grounded. It's a very grounded sign. So like they like their stability. So my interpretation is that if we're having a full moon eclipse, which is chaotic, right? It's and that it's in Taurus, it means that like the ground might fall out from under you. I don't mean literally. I mean, in California, it's debatable. We did just have that earthquake. Don't worry, I don't think there's gonna be that. But like, it's kind of like structures that are known to you that are like, you rely on this being like this location or this thing. That all kind of might just like go and you're left kind of going like, what the hell? Where is the ground? But it's not bad. It's good. All of this is good because it is a release of stuff that doesn't serve you. So if you've been trying to like move into a new space of life, a new way of being, this is actually great energy for releasing all the stuff that was holding you back or that was getting in your way and just wasn't really serving you. And kind of was impeding your ability to move forward in this way. And so it could be a lot of self-limiting beliefs. It could be a lot of like the negative self-talk. It could be a lot of the people in your life who you'd kind of kept around who aren't really healthy for you. Their behaviors are actually maybe very, they aren't looking out for the best of you. So if those kinds of people fall away, it's actually for your benefit. And it could be, like job changes. It could be big, like things that are structures that you're like, this is stable. The stable things that don't serve you will kind of just get washed out. And that's my interpretation for whatever that's worth. So that's just like the general interpretation. Now let's look at what the cards have for us. So we're going to do the same we did last time. We're going to do, energies going around work life, energies going around relationships, and then energies of themes of self-love that we might be visiting this coming week with the eclipse, and also the other stuff. So let's just start off with the work. What is it? What are we feeling into energetically for work? Ooh, we have an octopus. 36, blend into the environment. You have many skills and can fit into any situation. Take time to assess what is going on around you and adapt accordingly. See, adapting isn't it's a pretty octopus. Adapting is something you do when chaotic times are around and you're like trying to hold on, and like it could be big, it could be reorganizing, it could be like reorganizing stuff in a company where things get moved around and suddenly you're working with a different manager or a different like department, or maybe projects are getting switched around. Maybe it's like maybe you end up, it may not be like a full move to a new job, but it could be like a lot of like shifts and changes of what's going on around you, but just adapt. You're so smart. You're so talented. You're more than capable. Just don't cling to that's something I've learned with eclipses. You don't cling on to anything for too long, too hard, and like go fighting for it. It's not going to help you. The stuff that needs to fall away is going to fall away. So, in this energy of changes and everything, just open your eyes, breathe. Let's take a big breath in right now and exhale out. Do that a lot and just be aware of what's the next step. What do I do now? What is it that is my responsibility now? Try not to get too worked up about big changes and try not to like get too attached to things that are going on. Be ready to jump to a new thing if that's what's needed, and just go with the flow for a little bit. Like if you're getting shifted around, there's a reason and it will be for your best and highest good in the end, but just be ready for that. Okay. So blend into the environment. There's always going to be something that you can do. So just like, and it's something I talk about sometimes, but like, I don't think I've done it here. Every time a situation happens that's maybe overtly not pleasant, not great, there is a next step that is of what's called a high frequency energy. That's like for your best and highest good. It's going to be a really good next step. That's like a solution. It's like how to get out of this. And then there's a step in the direction of not the absolute opposite, where you can either things could get worse, you can make them worse for yourself, you can focus on how bad this is and then continue to neglect everything else in your life that is actually good for you, and then become hyper focused on the negative and then play with that timeline for a little while. So you have the option of you could step up into a better way of being in the next moments, or you can step down. You are the one that gets to choose that. So just always remember that whenever something's going wrong or overtly wrong, as it seems, it's not, but it seems like it, a little bit like a illusion, but like really what you're going to do is you have two options. Things can get better or they can get worse, but you're always given an answer. Anytime you have a problem, the universe kind of shows up and there's a solution that's available. Be open to the solution. Just be open to the solution. Okay. What else do we got for work life? Oh, well, look at this. How quaint. 38, shutting the old. There is a change coming your way. Cultivate a sense of adventure so you will be able to see the new prospects. I kid you not. See, I told you. That's what happens with eclipses. So shutting of the old. This is a very, so like, okay, it says cultivate a sense of adventure so you'll be able to see the new prospects. That's where you look to the solution, not how to make the problem worse. So whenever there's a big change that happens, say you did lose your job, there is a really incredible opportunity to find a new opening at a better place, a better work environment, better pay, better benefits. Don't look at any kind of a loss or big change right now. Maybe it's a person, maybe we're talking about work, so it's probably something work related. So if it is a project of a company or whatever that is, that's kind of getting pulled away, there's going to be something that's way better that's going to be like ready to show up anytime now. So just be open. Like if you're so focused on, for example, like maybe you're bummed out because you have to get to the airport, you can't find an Uber that'll get you there quick enough, and you're pouting, and you're like focused on your like how terrible this is, and maybe you're staring at this thing at your phone app saying like it's not going to get here, and you completely miss that there's a taxi that's just sitting there. So like it's like that. Like you don't miss opportunities because you're sulking. Be open to where, because it's inevitable. The answer is going to show up. You just have to be ready to see it and interpret it and then go take action upon it. But it will be there. I promise you that. Okay. Let's see. What else? One more. Let's get one more for work for this eclipse. Oh, so we're getting a little bit of tail end to last week's 28, seeing both sides. Take a step back and try looking at this from a different perspective. But since this is for the eclipse, I'm going to take this, last week it was more in the context of individuals. This week, it's more in the context of the bigger picture of whatever is going on. So our hammerhead shark buddy, when something big, dramatic change happens, step back and try to see what the answer is. What is the next really cool opportunity that's waiting for you now that this one has fallen away? And know that there's always going to be that opportunity, but you have to be open to seeing it and just be open to the perspective of the situation. Maybe you're like, oh, this sucks. It's like, can you step back and go, how is this helping me? How is this benefiting me? How is this actually a really good thing for me? So don't keep telling yourself this is terrible. Say, I just had an amazing thing happen. What is this amazing thing going to show me that's going to be so much more incredible next? Okay. So that is the workspace. That is the workspace. Now we're going to look at relationships. And it's going to be fun. It'll be fun. I thought it'd be good to play with the whispers again this week. Okay, what are the energies with this eclipse for relationships? Again, whatever that means to you. Everyone might have a different form of a relationship that's coming to mind right now. Forward movement, 45. So that's kind of fun. Kind of fun. But it can happen when things happen fast in relationships, you know, they can be scary for some people. So like it could be like you're moving in with somebody. It could be like, you know, maybe it has nothing to do with like romantic. Maybe it's like friends. You're starting to make friends, and you find someone that's like your bestie, and like you guys just hit it off and you just start doing everything together. Maybe you end up like creating a business together. Maybe you guys have like similar passions, and like maybe this isn't a relationship and you do have similar passions and you start like a family business together. Like there's going to be a lot of quick, like, and keep in mind, sometimes something has to fall away before you can move forward. So it's forward movement in the direction of what is going to serve you. So there could be loss of people in your life and they kind of fall away, but it's going to serve you ultimately. So it might happen fast, but it just means that you're going to pick up someone really good along the way going forward. Let's see what else we got for relationships. "24, seek seclusion." I'm going to pull the book for this one. Yeah. Find a place Find a place that feels like an isolated sanctuary. You need some seclusion away from the hustle and bustle of your day-to-day routine. Your routine may become so busy that you have no time for regrouping. This card is urging you to take a much-needed break. You would benefit from being in a place where you can leave your daily stress at the door. You can fashion your own haven in simple ways. Bring fresh flowers into your space. Decorate an area with gifts that have special meaning to you or photos of beloved family members and friends. If possible, place a small water feature in your space as the sound of moving water can be soothing. Make your haven comfortable and with cushions and comfy chairs. Add crystals, essential oils, candles, or anything else that appeals to you. A maiden sleeps at the edge of the forest of a forest of peacock feathers. Numerous fairy beings watch over the sleeping maiden. She is safe. Peacock feathers are said to feature the eye of the heavens. What a magical space to have a quiet retreat. A tree diva plays a morning glory trumpet as if serenading the maiden. Morning glory is a symbol of affection. Feel the peace emanating from the image. There is much to be gained from spending time in seclusion. Create a personal sanctuary where you can stretch out, breathe, read a book, meditate, sit, listen to music, or anything else you desire. See, they even said to breathe too. Isn't that funny? Isn't that interesting? Let's take another big breath in and out. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Exhale out. Doesn't that just feel so good? Okay. So that's so funny. Okay. Actually, this is the next card that's up. This is going to be so 22 breathe. So that's going to be the next card because that's just, of course, of course, of course. Why not? See, I got you. But the whole seclusion thing. So like, okay, with big chaos, big change, big releases, so important to take time to kind of like take in what's happening. And if you are someone who goes out a lot and does a lot of things, or is like, maybe you are constantly on dates, that's totally fine. But like, maybe for a little bit this week, just take some time for you to be on your own. Don't worry about other people. Don't worry about the relationships. Don't worry about how other people are going to interpret you going off on your own. Just go off on your own. Give yourself some time and space to process what's happening so that you can actually move forward and be more calm. And sometimes when there's these big releases and you're letting go of things, you need to have time for yourself to be gentle and to like process and internalize what exactly, integrate the situation, and just sometimes it's okay to mourn a loss. It's okay to be sad about something. Let yourself have the feelings, but then let that go. Let it wash through you. And then breathe. Always breathe. It's a pretty picture. You can kind of see like there's a bunch of dolphins. She's in the ocean. She's very pretty. And 22. Get your angel numbers. Or whatever you want to call them. Okay. When negativity surrounds you, create a space where you can take a few minutes of reprieve to regain rationality. Close your eyes and take a slow, deliberate breath. Right? Let's do it again. Big breath in. Breathe in now. Exhale out. Okay. Visualize love and positive energy coming to you with each breath in. Imagine you are releasing fear every time you exhale. We do this all the time during our Breathe With Me sessions. Take a moment now to practice breathing techniques. This can help you feel replenished. See, this is saying go sign up for Riva's breathing classes because she has lots of them. In fact, oh gosh, it might be on the 9th. It might be on the 9th. I think I have a free online breathwork class, a gentle breathwork class that is on the 9th. So that's on Wednesday at 7 p.m. PST. I record all of my classes. So if you want to join, you can sign up, and you can't join live. That's perfectly fine. You'll get the recording to the class afterwards. And since you got the card to breathe, I don't know why you wouldn't go sign up for that class, especially since it really doesn't matter if you can't join live because you get the recording afterwards. See, even the universe is telling you, why wouldn't you do this? So anyways, I mean, like seriously, this is all playing out very nicely. And maybe just take a moment, try breathing in, because it says breathe in love. So breathe in, like, imagine there's a big pink energy that's filling the room around you. Close your eyes, just in your mind's eye, imagine a giant room filled with pink, really loving pink energy, and then breathe that in. Let's take 3 breaths in and out. Exhale here. That's the first breath. Breathe in again. Exhale here. One more big breath in. Breathe in that beautiful pink light energy. And exhale here. And do that anytime you're feeling like you're overwhelmed or things. Go to your sanctuary and do that. Okay, so with effort, try to make your breaths a little bit longer and a little bit deeper. I literally tell people in my classes this. Longer, deeper breaths have a direct effect on your nervous system. They do. They activate the vagus nerve, which induces your parasympathetic rest and digest response. It is human to take shallow breaths when you are in tense situations. See, don't do that. Feel how much healing you can experience by being mindful of your breathing. Do that. Mermaids and mammals in the ocean must surface to take a breath. This card, I didn't actually, so, okay, no, I'm not even, wait, I'm just gonna, so like, I don't know how the concept of mermaids works, but in my brain, I never, like, back when you think of like the mythology or stories of mermaids. Like I've never heard of a story where a mermaid had to come up to I don't know how they breathe, but like I know like they theoretically go to the surface to breathe. I know mammals do, but I didn't know that. Anyways, it's fine. This card comes as a perfectly timed reminder for you to stop for breath. See, this is heavily breathe. Breathe with me. If you go to my website, www.dragonbreathyoga.com, just go to the offerings page and then you can find the free. It'll either say breathe with me or regenerate your inner dragon. The blue regenerate your inner dragon. There's a blue one that's like a full blue, and those are the paid classes, and then there's like a whitish tannish thing with a blue dragon flower thing in the middle, and that's the free one. So the one on this coming Wednesday, I think, is a free one, so you can check that out. Okay. And when you learn to take long, slow, deep breaths in my classes, life takes on new quality. See, I can bring your life to a whole new place. Whole new world. Okay. You will be more able to appreciate the beauty around you. The mermaid reaches for the surface of the ocean just as you reach to break the surface of old patterns. Big eclipse release. Let go of the old patterns. You can transform an aspect of your life by slowing down and breathing deeply. As you read this message, did you take a breath deep into your stomach and slowly release it? You did, because I told you to, and you did it because you really wanted to, because it's so cool. And if not, do so now. It says so in the book. Okay. So that's what we got on the horizon for relationships. So it sounds like, I feel like what's going on right now is much more energetic shifts for your relationships, more than you're going to see a ton of activity and like relationship behaviors and things going on. It's more like you're energetically preparing for the healthy steps in your relationships and the healthy relationships themselves. So, okay. Now, let's look at the theme of self-love and what that's holding for us this coming this week with the full moon eclipse in Taurus, the blood moon. These are things I never knew before. Like I would never know that there was a full moon, or that it was an eclipse, or that it was a blood moon, or that it was in Taurus. Okay. So what are the themes of self-love that we might be playing with over the next week for this eclipse? Focus on, oh, it's a cute dragon with a nymph. Focus on love. Look for the good in everyone. Look at that cute dragon. So happy. It's just so cute. You just want to pet it. Oh, she's giving it something. Like a little snack, a little dragon snack. Okay. Anyways, why don't we open up the book for this one? Okay. It is easy to see the faults in other people. Think of the positive characteristics of the people in your life. Remember the things that caused you to love them in the first place. Focusing on the love will change and heal any negativity that is there. You may be experiencing a rough patch with someone you share a relationship with. Work towards turning things around. How you perceive a situation has a lot to do with how you feel about it. Be good to people no matter who they are or what role they play in your life. When you approach relationships with a positive mindset, you reinforce the love in your life. Strive to be supportive and loving, foster the good in others, and the return will be tenfold. A wood nymph offers her hand to a dragon, but she has like a treat in her hand. So it's like she's not like giving the dragon her hand. Dragons symbolize power, magic, and balance. The orange, yellow, and green tones in this card point to a relationship, communication, and healing. A situation may feel intimidating, but you have the tools to get on track. Okay, so because we talked about this for like self-love, right? So this is the theme for self-love. So what I'm going to say is, more than focusing on the good in everyone, it's about focusing on the good in yourself and not being so hard on yourself. And sometimes that's looking at how you perceive other people. the whole world is your mirror. Like, I know people say that and kind of just like people brush it off. And I used to brush it off too. But your entire world is a mirror to what your internal reality is. So, but that might mean if you're really hard on yourself, if you're really constantly berating yourself with negative self-talk, you will likely see people around you who are either doing that themselves or are behaving in ways that make you want to think negatively of them or judge them. Sounds crazy. Sounds really weird. I have a whole series and I'm starting up pretty soon that's like the world is your mirror and helping you understand how the world is your mirror. And a lot of it is like the interpretation of, because your entire experience is uniquely your own. It will not be like anyone else's. And it's flavored and colored with all of your own history and past experiences with people and expectations you've had of them, of you, and all of the different things. So often when we see someone, there's kind of two variations with how we might see ourselves externalized as a mirror. The one is we literally see the actions of what we do to ourselves or how we treat ourselves. So if you're really hard on yourself, you might be noticing a friend who's really hard on themselves. And you want to kind of go rush in and go like, no, but don't, like, you're so amazing, and want to like kind of coddle them and like make them feel better and like remind them how, you know, don't be so hard on yourself. Like, it's not your fault. Like, you didn't, and it totally isn't. Like, they're great and they're really good, but they're really like hard on themselves. One of the reasons that you're so quick to see that is because you do this to yourself. And because we talk about the conscious and subconscious mind, subconscious is this giant, vast, massive space of stuff. But the stuff that becomes conscious, that are the thoughts that float up into our mind, that is because that is like very close to the surface of the subconscious. So if the first thing you notice in a interaction with your friend is they're berating themselves, and that's the thing, because there's a lot of things that people say. So in a whole conversation, they might have said some good things, they might have said some bad things, they might have said some like hypercritical things about themselves, but you're hyper focused on the hypercritical thing. That is an indication that you're doing a lot of negative self-talk and a lot of things like being hard on yourself. And that's why it's coming to the surface so quickly. It's already there in your own mind because that's what's relevant to you. The fact that you noticed it in the other person so quickly is because it is super hyper relevant to you. And it's also relevant to the other person. So I'm not going to discount that. I'm not saying don't help your friend, but the reason you care so much in that moment and feel so deeply what that person's going through is because you're doing it to yourself. Now, the other side of it gets to be a little bit more murky and harder to see because it's not, you kind of can follow what I'm saying about that one. You're like, oh, I see myself in them, and therefore I'm like recognizing this situation so much more readily. And what I want to say is there's the more murky side of the mirror, and that's when you see other people that you're presented with situations where you are being hypercritical of another person. So you're upset because someone didn't do something, or the way they did it, or that they're not caring about this thing enough, or they haven't done something they said they would do for you, and it really bothers you like crazy. Think about it. There's tons of situations where somebody fails to do something and it actually doesn't bother you that much. It's almost like, oh, don't worry about it. Just get to it eventually. Or if a really good friend of yours forgets something or doesn't do something, you're much more lenient on them about like, you know, even if it was like a big important thing, it's like, oh, okay. But like, you know, I love you. I don't really care that much. It's fine. But then there are people who screw up and you are super hypercritical of them and you're immediately on them. And really what that is it's a mirror for you to see that you are being hypercritical of yourself. You are being really harsh on yourself. Take or leave what I'm saying, you know, take what resonates, leave the rest. But this is just, I have been studying this whole, like the universe and the world and how you can interpret the world and how like psychology works and how the whole like mirror thing works and like mixing all of the realms of science and spirituality. And I have a very good understanding in my own experience. And you don't have to believe me, it's fine. But like, this is what I have learned over years now of studying this stuff. And it's like, It's very interesting, but when you stop being so hard on yourself, you suddenly will not see these other experiences so much. You just won't, they won't be around you. They won't be in your life experience. You don't have to believe me, but I'd say play with it, experiment with it, see if it works. And if you suddenly realize that every time you notice these situations where you're being put in a situation to be hypercritical of others, or noticing someone being hypercritical of themselves, if you start to recognize that's an indication that right around now, you're doing a lot of like negative self-talk, or you're pushing yourself beyond your limits, not letting yourself rest. Maybe you screwed something up and you forgot something, but you're being so hard on yourself. That's not going to make it any better. It doesn't help you fix the problem. It just makes you feel like shit. Like, like it doesn't really give you the tools to make things better quicker. You're just going to feel terrible for longer. So this might be a big thing for you to let go of over this next week with the eclipse. It's like, can you start to let go of how hypercritical you are of yourself and how negative you are with yourself? And every time you see somebody else screw up or something and you're starting to judge them, can you see how you do that to yourself all the time? And you have such high expectations for yourself that you're exhausting yourself, and you're not really giving yourself the praise and credit when that's due. Okay, so I've beat that one pretty well. So let's see what else there is. Actually, that's a pretty good one. I think we're gonna leave it at that for the self-love lessons, or like themes for this coming week. I think that's a good amount of homework there for you there. And then let's see what's next. So this is another one of my dragon decks. See, I told you there's multiple. It's called the Dragon Path, and I love these dragons. They're so pretty. And I got to know the artist a little bit, and they're really great person. All right. And they're very good artists as well. So let's see. Dragon Path Oracle cards. What do you have to share with us? What is our dragon theme for this eclipse week? Full moon eclipse in Taurus, the blood moon. I'm proud of myself for knowing something. Okay, let's see here. Ooh. Okay. 4, Father Time. Yeah, I told you they're cool. Okay. Let yourself sink a little deeper into the abyss of quiet stillness. This goes on with the other one. Okay, Father Time is probably as old as the universe itself. This commanding, wise old dragon will aid you to still the constant chatter of your mind and just be. This will help with the negative self-talk. His presence supports our grounding and brings focus to the moment. His aim is that we let go of linear time, for it is man-made concept. His energy helps us to enter the void, which is particularly useful during meditation. So the void is like this is what can happen after an eclipse. It's like the space between everything and nothing. It's a space of nothingness, but also where everything is. It's weird. It can be very uncomfortable, but it's like kind of new beginnings. It's like you kind of have to let go of the old and be open to the brand new to show up, but it's very uncomfortable until the new shows up. You're in this space of nothing is happening, but everything is possible. So it's this waiting period. So when you're going through this week, just like the void it could be like an energy that you're going to face. But it's, and some people can feel a little bit of mild, like, depression, a little bit of mild, like, melancholy is a term people will use for it, but it's actually the period of time before a big breakthrough, before a big like inspiration hits. And it could feel a little bit bored. It could feel a little bit like, oh my God, I just want something to happen. And it will, but just be patient with yourself and let it happen very authentically, and you'll serve you so much better. His energy helps. Okay, yeah. And then his message today is, now this is the moment in time this moment. Oh, okay. Now, this moment in time is a gift. I can read. which is why it is called the present. Allow all time to stop and break your habit of clock chasing, because in reality, there is only now. Let yourself sink a little deeper into the abyss of quiet stillness and let go. The man-made concept of linear time is illusionary. It only serves to fuel the doubts in your life. I'm here to guide you to a more tranquil way of being, to be fully present in the moment. He goes on to say the stresses of your existence are often due to your preoccupation with time. Find your point of center. Breathe, breathe. See, it even said the dragon is telling you to breathe. Like, come on. If I don't have a list of people, like a very long list of people signed up for my breathing class this Wednesday, I don't know what's wrong with y'all. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. You can do exactly what you want, and I will love you either way. But just breathe somewhere. Breathe on your own. You could breathe with me. Just saying. Okay, find your point of center, breathe, and let go. Whether these anxieties are from a lack of time or a feeling of not being good enough, nothing is gained by being fretful. Stop setting yourself unrealistic timescales and such high expectations. You can achieve without making it so difficult for yourself. You as human doings, dragons refer to us as human doings rather than beings. That's cute. Fail to see that much of your stress is unconscious, as it is as natural to you as breathing, which is not untrue. So they're allowed to poke at us that way. Recognize this and release it. With this quietness of mind, Father Time aids you in finding clarity in all life situations and helps you to see the bigger picture, allowing you to reach a new level of understanding. I think that's kind of like self-explanatory. We need to breathe and maybe let go of constantly worrying about what time it is and what needs to get done next and all the things. Yes, things have to happen. Yes, like we have to go do certain things to, like, be at work, pick up family, pick up kids, be at family, whatever it might be. But sometimes we get so focused on all of the times and we forget to be present in each moment and actually experience life. And it's so much easier to have answers to what next when stuff is happening and there's all sorts of chaos when you're present in this moment, because that's when all the answers can actually show up. The answers can't show up unless you're present. So that's when inspiration can drop in. In fact, I have guided meditations for that. And for helping you be present. And we have an owl in one of them that is very helpful. So, I will switch them over to this channel. They're currently still on the Dragon Breath Yoga YouTube channel, but okay. Now, animal synchronicity time and recap time. Did you see an elephant this past week? If you happen to watch last week's Oracle energy reading, we pulled an elephant. So animal synchronicities are like signs from the universe. And so we pick a new animal each week to look out for, to kind of give us an indication that we're on the right track, have a little communication with the universe, know that we're being loved and that they're looking out for us, and that, we are connected and we're receiving these signs and we know we're on track and all those things. So I actually saw an elephant, like I think it was either the next day or the day after that, after the last reading. It was in a picture that a very good friend had made. And so there was an elephant in there, and I was like, oh, there's my synchronicity. So I would love it if you guys tell me if you guys are seeing any synchronicities. Just saying. It's fun to share. And also, if you've seen, whatever this animal's this week, let me know if you end up seeing it. Okay, let's see. What is our animal synchronicity for this week? What is our animal synchronicity for this week? Ooh, a loon. Intuitive. Listen to the song in your soul. Trust your intuition as you have a way of knowing. Emerge from the busy life and seek more solitude. Recognize that you are unique and that you are loved. The loon. When I was little, I used to listen to CDs that had a loon in it in the background. I think it's like a piano kind of relaxing thing. And I just remember there being a loon. Okay, we're gonna pull. I heard something. We're gonna pull the loon information up. Okay, loon: elegance, singer, communicator, visionary, dreamer, loyalty, family, fidelity, freedom's call, spirit messenger. The call of the loon stirs the soul. Their sounds evoke reverence and imagination. Loons have a complex communication system that is highly evolved. Loons are powerful and intuitive. Knowing from within comes quickly for loon people. You are a loon person. You're loony. Okay. Knowing from their flashes of insight and imagination are highly developed. Loons mate for life and teach the ideals of family and fidelity to those with this totem. Loons are excellent partners and parents. They often carry their offspring on their backs. Aw, that's so cute. Loons are also excellent communicators, and they relate well with others. When loon arrives at you, or you hear them call, it may be time to pay attention to your own intuition and be discerning of your situation. If loon is your totem, you will be a great communicator. Insights and answers easily arise from the depths of your subconscious. Family love is so important, and you protect the ones you love. Take time at dawn on the still lake of your calm mind. I said calm mind. It actually just says take time at dawn on the still lake of your mind and connect with your song. But maybe your mind is calm. Be vocal, chant, love your family. You will always succeed if you listen to the wisdom within. Look to your own reflection to see how beautiful and unique and elegant you are. The contrary that goes with this one is, are you ignoring warnings from your loved ones? Are you so busy you've forgotten the sanctuary of love? Are you communicating your feelings? And be brave and speak your truth. So that is the message that comes with the loon. Okay, you Looney Tune. So that is it for today. That is all of the fun messages I have to share with you for this full moon eclipse in Taurus, the blood moon. I hope you enjoyed, and definitely leave me a comment once in a while. Let me know if anything feels resonant or anything at all. I'm always happy to read and respond as soon as I do see them. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Bye-bye.